At 32 years old, I've generated over $500 million in revenue with no business partners, no loans. I've built 4 businesses that are fully self-sustainable and actually growing with their own funds. I've slowly chipped away at putting money into my personal savings account, and I've recently crossed the goal that at one time was like this big monumental amount. In this video, I want to just share some of the things I've learned and talk about what I've done, and hopefully you guys can take something away to implement into your own life and ventures. So with no further ado, let's get started. Good?
That was so good.
That's my first time ever saying that out loud, the 500, that's crazy. Yeah, we're changed men. We're changed men.
It's so quiet now.
I know, there's like no noise at all. Yeah. The neighbors are happy. The HOA is like not up my ass, you know? That's what 32 feels like, man. Do you think people would watch these videos more if like I still had a Lambo? Probably.
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 Yeah. You're changed, man.
I know, bro. I'm domesticated by choice. You know. Apparently, someone commented that if I reach out to Tesla, they'll literally drive to my house and fix this. But for some reason, I don't believe that. So if I get more comments that are like, no, they will, then I'll definitely ask Tesla to come and fix the steering wheel.
I feel like they should, because that's a quality issue.
Yeah, right? I don't have to stop at gas station. Honestly, though, driving that TRX for like, I think it was like 2 years, I spent so much money on gas. When you don't have to pay $100 every few days, you're like, oh, that's kind of nice, you know? This one's on a lease and up till the end of this year, so I'm probably gonna, you know, get another one. Yeah. Heidi's G-Wagon's out of warranty now, so she like kind of wants to get into like a newer something. It's just an excuse for her to not renew the warranty and get a new car. But. Yeah. Oh, Joe changed his bumper. What the hell? I'm gonna make fun of him. I'm gonna make fun of him.
What up, dude?
Oh shit. Man is back in town. Have you ever had you ever got lit? Like
What?
like a twisted tea, bro? Like that's like a.
You're so white.
I've had like
You're so fucking white.
Yo, back in Virginia, me and the boys.
But I won't stay down. I run this town. Ain't backing down. We going the rounds. Get a
flavor.
Okay, production. Can we get thumbnails? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you'd be able to take a photo handheld. You want to shoot it at like 1/100th of a.
I would say
shutter speed, because
something for
you're
like
gonna
more
jiggle a
early
little bit.
stages,
That's
starting
right.
business, or
So it's not blurry.
You don't want it to be
Or
blurry.
you can even
That's right.
ask.
Kind of angry, dumb face you gonna do this time? Okay, ask him.
So we just finished up the podcast. I haven't talked about this on my channel. Maybe, I don't, yeah. I feel like the tariffs could be a very big video.
Yeah.
Just like my honest thoughts on the tariffs. If you guys want to see me kind of freely just speak about all that in the current state of it, I guess you can watch the podcast, but if you want my perspective solely, then let me know in the comments. I can definitely do a video on that because, I mean, like Alpha Elite pending right now. You know what I mean? So it's not, I'm giggling, but it's gonna affect yeah. Let me know. So my friend David, his YouTube channel is called How to Beast. He's really good friends with Max, with Joe, and over the last few years, we've become very close as well. He has hosted an event here at Alphaland before in the VIP lounge where he has this inner circle group of men that, you know, get on weekly calls about business, about relationship advice, about just self-improvement. And he asked me if I'd be interested in coming to his next event here at Alphaland and actually be like a speaker. Max and I are special guests today. I guess we're gonna speak for like 10 minutes open. I actually have a little plan. We worked on a plan. So I actually have a plan going into it.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Christian gets stressed out about public speaking.
100%.
Like, one of the most popular dudes on the internet in the fitness community has given 8,000 like motivational talks, but like you put him in like a room in front of people, he stresses out.
Well, I just feel like if I don't have a format or presentation or anything, it's kind of like, if it's an open book, I can't just click it on.
You can, bro.
Like,
You did on YouTube. After you're like super sweaty, you'd be like, follow your dreams.
ex-girlfriend pisses me off and then I can go on a rant, but yeah, like now I'm like chilling, you know? I was super not wanting to go first. He actually had me planned to speak first, and when I heard that on the podcast we filmed in the morning, I was like, bro, I would really prefer, I thought it was gonna be like a Q&A type of vibe, not like, I want you to just go up and talk for 10 to 15 minutes. Anytime I've gone on like rants or anytime I've shared anything, it's always kind of been organically, and it's never really been like planned out. I've never had a set mission and a point to get across.
The arsonist had oddly shaped feet. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. How now, brown cow? unique New York. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. New York, New York.
Max ended up going first, thankfully. And as Max was talking, he gets up there and he's just like so smooth. He's walking the floor. Everybody raise your hand if you've done this, or if you were here last year.
How many people, show of hands, were here last year? Okay, a good amount of people. So
when I was like, where the hell did this come from? Like, where did Max develop these skills, right?
who here that said what they were gonna do last year has implemented like a change in like a pretty drastic way? Not kind of like, oh, maybe I've started down that path, but like took knowledge or information that you heard from the last year's events and implemented it, and it's been like a dramatic leap in the goals you were trying to achieve.
As Max was just like up there killing it, I was sort of running through what I was sort of planning. I only had like 2 hours to prepare, and so Nabil and I was like, bro, Nabil, David wants me to talk for like 10 to 15 minutes. What the hell? Like, what do you think? Like, let's spitball some ideas. I need some sort of plan to go into that, because I really can't go in blind. I'll just freeze and open it up to a Q&A, and like, I want to come with something. There's a common denominator between every single business that I've started, and that common denominator is essentially finding a problem and building a business around fixing a problem that you experience in your day-to-day life. And I'll go into like each business in a second. David and I were like in the background behind like everybody who was attending, and I was like, bro, like, do you think I should like establish some credibility here? Do you think I should like almost assume that nobody in this room knows who I am? How do I, should I do that? He goes, yeah, you should. I go, do you think I should like tell him how much money we've made? He's like, 100%. So that was really the first time where I've ever kind of been like, shit. And I didn't really have a lot of time to think about it or to hesitate or to like go back on it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna fucking go for it.
I would like to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, the fitness entrepreneur god himself, motivational speaker, Christian Guzman. Give it up for him.
I get up there and I figure, let me start with my hook. I'm 32 years old. So I'm 32. I started my first business at 20 years old. My businesses have generated over $500 million in revenue in my lifetime. Over those 12 years, we've generated over $500 million in revenue with everything combined. I've established these 4 businesses that are currently running every single year and growing on their own without any investors, without any help, without any, well, I have business partners on 3D. But that's the only one. All of this, everything you see outside, was built from that single kind of mission. On top of that, like on a personal level, I've slowly, over the course of my entire career, every year, taken a little bit and put it into my savings account and put it into my savings. And I'll never forget when I was like, I think 23 or 24 years old, Joe, who's on the Don't Be Sour podcast, really great friend of mine. I remember his dad telling me, because his dad's a super successful business guy. He started his cabinetry shop out of his truck when he was like in his 20s, and he's built this like massive cabinet empire. And I remember him pulling me aside and being like, you're doing really well for yourself, man. Let me ask you how much you have in your savings. And I told him, and he goes, that's really, really incredible. Somebody gave me this advice and I'm gonna give it on to you. And he gave me a marker. He told me, when you can get to this in your savings and you're not touching it, that's when you're gonna be good. I was like, wow, that seems so far away. That's a crazy number. A decade plus, I've slowly been literally having that in my head, like, okay, I gotta get there. So now I officially crossed that marker and more. That's all the pieces to the establishing credibility portion of the speech. It's my first time ever like saying that. I think it's a pretty wild accomplishment, and that whole entire portion is just to get people to really truly listen to the meat and bones of my actual speech, right? So the actual speech is this. There's 4 businesses that I've started. There's Alphalete, there's Summer Shredding, Alpha Land, and 3D. Each and every one of those businesses has a common denominator between all 4 of them. And it's the fact that I have had to really think about, before jumping into a venture, what problem am I trying to solve? What is like annoying me on a daily basis, or what in my life is, causing me some friction that's gonna give me the fuel to go and actually start a venture. 3D Energy started simply because I used to be the White Monster guy. Every single expo I would go to, any event that I would go to, people would literally bring me like 12 packs, 24, like tons of cases of White Monster. I would literally, like at the end of the meetups, I would have a stack of White Monster piled up next to me because I was such an advocate.
96 plus 120 total monsters here.
You know, I was always drinking one of my videos, cracking it open, first sip, you know, doing that whole thing. My only problem with White Monster, though, like it was the best product out at the time, literally halfway through one, my stomach just like inflates out, it starts to bloat. I knew that if I could create a product that could have less carbonation, that could have a little bit more caffeine, because I didn't really want to be drinking 2 monsters a day. I think 1 should be fine. So let's bump the caffeine, let's limit the carbonation, let's make it taste a little bit more like juice. Oh, the last problem was that they were super like branded, way too heavy. I think that the branding on them kind of turns off like a more mature, more simple kind of audience. So I wanted to completely strip all of that design away, create a product that was matte, single color, 200 milligrams caffeine, less carbonation, take out the ingredients to make your stomach bloat. And that's how 3D was formed. Oh yeah, look at these. Yeah. Summer Shredding, which is my bodybuilding league that we now have. I will never forget competing in my first NPC show. I dieted down, did my cardio, got shredded. I just remember like doing that show and going through the experience, like the backstage and you know the competitors, and just I'll never forget there was just one competitor in my class and like that was it. And it felt very just kind of anticlimactic. It wasn't an experience that felt worthy of all the effort that I had put in. Like really gone through so much and has so much self-growth and development and like really committed to things. And I feel like after pouring your heart and soul into something, then like maybe we got a free t-shirt. I always thought like, man, I feel like somebody could come in and make this experience a lot better for the actual competitor. Not focused on just making money on the biz, but like, I feel like the competitor experience could be so much more, and you could just feel so much more involved and feel like you actually get some, you know, you could level that up to make it worth all the shit that you go through when you're going through a prep. The second problem was that the fact that the transformation class, which is what we started in Summer Shredding, wasn't a thing in any division that I have ever seen, kind of triggered me, because my entire YouTube channel has been like trying to help people get fit, trying to help people get healthier, drop weight, drop body fat, build muscle. If you're just looking at like one of those NPC shows and you just see these shredded guys on stage or these bikini girls on stage, and you're very far off from looking like that, and you've been busting your ass and you are really trying, and you've made a ton, maybe you've lost 150 to 200 pounds, and like, but you're not here yet, you're not at that level, you're like here, but you're on your way. I wanted to make a way for people that are transforming, and like when you get on stage for the first time, especially that first time, it truly, I think, changes the way you believe in yourself, and you start to think you can truly do anything. And I remember just like walking off the stage for the first time, even though my experience wasn't all that great, I remember just feeling, holy shit, like I'm the man. Like I can literally if I want to start this business, I think I can do it. I feel unstoppable. I want anybody on that journey to be able to feel those benefits and feel those things. So we created the transformation class. With Alphalete, there's 2 examples here. I think I've said this one many times before. I used to constantly go to Zara. This was back when they would have really nice like fitted t-shirts. They were longer, they had shorter sleeves, and the fit was great. They were plain, and I would constantly go, because I also wash my clothes like shit. I don't hang dry them, I don't flip them, I don't do all that, but like the quality of them was just so cheap. After 2 to 4 washes of these Zara shirts, they're like 4 or 5 inches shorter. The tag on the back, you're starting to see holes in it. The little stitches are coming off. It would look like crap. And I was going to the clubs, I was trying to, look good. I constantly have to keep going back to Zara and buying the same $30 t-shirt like every month. And it was just so annoying, spending so much money. I'm like, man, they are milking me for this money. For Alphalete, there was also the example of, I got sponsored by Gymshark, and I was kind of in the early stages of the company to where, I don't know, it was like the first few years of the company, but for me in America, looking at this UK brand that was like, before I got sponsored, they were doing body power, they had all these shredded guys, and a lot of them had YouTube channels, and I was like, holy shit, like I wanna be there, I wanna be on that team. I want to travel. I want to do that. Kind of seeing a lot of the insights, I was like, man, I think I could do something similar. And one thing that sort of started sticking out to me was like a lot of the designs that were coming out in those like years of me being on board. I don't want to say we're like very European or anything, that's very generalized, but a lot of them were starting to get a little bit too two-tone colors and a lot of like really too sporty for my kind of taste looking designs, like a lot of Tron, you know, compression and leggings and stuff, where I wanted like almost like the Zara elements, but in athletic wear and even in lifestyle wear for myself. Like selfishly, I just wanted clothes that I could wear for myself. That's a problem, right? I think a problem in a missing gap in the market is, let's make some simple, mature, high quality fabric pieces that will last you way more than the Zara t-shirts, that will be more minimal than the Gymshark stuff that was coming out at the time. There was my avenue. Let me start this company by focusing on those problems. The last example I have is Alphaland. We'll call it building a gym. In my early days, 2012, 2013, 2014, I got kicked out of literally every single gym in this 20-mile radius of where my parents live, because I moved back to my parents' house after college. I was saving money, doing online coaching. I could not, for the life of me, keep a membership, and like, because I always felt like I was such a nice guy and so polite and stuff. At the bottom line, it's like, you can't film here. We're sorry, but you can't film. Out of respect, I don't keep pushing that button. I like listen, I'm okay, I'll back off. Essentially, I had nowhere to film my YouTube videos. I didn't know what I was gonna do because I was trying to build this fitness YouTube channel. Maybe I could have built a home gym, but instead I was like, no, I'm gonna build a gym. I was telling my mom, I was like, Mom, what if I like build a gym? Do you think I could do that? And she goes, how about we get in the car right now? Let's get your dad, let's get your brother, let's go drive around. So we drove around and we found this 1,500 square foot spot right by my parents' house. And it's funny because that's actually like 5 minutes away from where Alphaland is right now. I wanted to build a spot for me to start filming and open up to memberships. My dream was always to open a gym. I was like, man, I guess you don't need any like degree or anything to do it. I guess I can actually just do it. I could afford the rent. I priced out all the equipment. I was like, wow, I can actually kind of get this going. My problem for that business was I can't film. I need to keep making videos because that's driving my revenue and I'm enjoying it and I love making this content. And now we're in an 18.5 acre Alphaland, right? The common denominator between all four businesses is that you have to find a problem. I believe that you really have to have a problem that resonates with you truly at your core, because if you're not deeply passionate about the industry and like the problem that you're trying to solve, if you can't like live and breathe that, when times get hard and when business like presents the challenges that come along with it, the stress, the daily like, oh, I don't know if I can keep doing this. The only thing that's gonna keep you on track is gonna be your passion. And like, I need to do this because I love what I'm doing. I love this industry I'm in. That you have to find something that you know you can improve and you have to be passionate about it. For me, it's like for the Zara clothes, the Gymshark clothes, they fit like shit. The Monster was bloating me. The Summer Shred, the show experience was pretty subpar. The gym, I got kicked out of every gym, so I needed to build my own. So I challenge you guys to think long and hard about the path that you choose to take, because I think that if you don't have this deep passion of like the industry that you're in or the problem that you're trying to fix, I don't think it's gonna be enough to get you through the hard times. It's not gonna be enough to push you past those late nights and keep you up and keep you motivated and keep you sticking to what you gotta do. You may just say, that business didn't work, that business didn't work. Like, though businesses have failed, I've never given up on any of them because I care so much about them. That's sort of my biggest advice. You have to find what you like, find a problem within that community, and try to find something unique to offer to get a way in. I think far too many people are just trying to look at exactly what someone else is doing, put some different branding on it and try to do it again, but it's like, that's not gonna get you that far. I'm not saying like when I launched Alphalete, I had the best fitted, highest quality clothing, because honestly, if I look back now, the first 5 years of products, I'm like, those could have been so much better. I'm almost like embarrassed by them, right? When I started my first gym, it was 900 square feet of gym space. I'm like, I definitely would, like now, me looking back, I wouldn't have gotten a membership there. At the time, I believed it. I was like, no, this is the place, this is the spot. You guys have to come here. And slowly you build and you work on the businesses and they expand. With Summer Shredding, it actually started as an online competition, then slowly evolved into one single bodybuilding show. I was like, man, maybe I can actually like call up some venues. I did a show at the Stafford Center, the Lila Brada one year. I went to go see Shawley do the show, and I was like, man, this venue's nice, and it's right by the gym. Let's just call and see how much it costs. Turns out I have to sell 100 and 10 competitor tickets priced at $250 to be able to cover that and cover the cost and do this. So if I can get 250 people, we actually profit. And then I have money in sponsorships and connections where I can really build goodie bag, I can make the experience so much better. I can leverage Alfleet, use my manufacturers for some really high quality hoodies, for t-shirts, I can call Ghost, I can call One Up because Heidi's sponsor, I can call Grounds, I can kind of network and create, something as a package deal that's way better and way higher value. A lot of these gurus, a lot of this and I see the title of the video and I hear the hook that I just did at the beginning of the video. I'm 32, I've made over $500 million, blah, blah, blah. I think 90% of people are like, including myself, when I say that out loud, I'm like, oh my God, I am not gonna be able to do that. That's way too overwhelming. That's, how the fuck are you, how? And it seems unattainable and it seems like it's not gonna at all be possible for me and I don't have what it takes to do that. I'm not even fucking close to that yet. That's how even me saying it, even though I've lived it, I still feel like me saying that out loud sounds like, that's a long way. I feel like the gurus will sell you on that 100 million thing or this and that and here's exactly what you need to do, but it's so broad. And what I'm trying to say is the actionable steps that you actually need to start to, or do to get started is what you guys need to think about. With 3D, it's okay, let me talk to the shipping companies. Let me see how much would it cost to ship a 12 pack online, okay? Let me see if I can run some numbers and see if I could actually make a profit if I charge this. Can I do free shipping? $29.99 a case. If I do that, shipping's costing $8.50, so okay, that's $22. My cases cost $7. Boom, that's a $13 profit. Holy shit, it's possible. Go get a Monster. Where is it made? Let me look at the can. Where is it made? It's made in Kentucky or whatever. It's the Ghost one is made here. Let me Google that. Let me call and be like, hey, I'm very interested in starting sampling. I really like the White Monster, but it's bloating me. Do you think could I formulate something? What are the steps to get started working there, right? Working on that. That's how 3D got started with Alfleet. Let me go on Alibaba.com and let me, send 5 people emails and say, hey, I really like the fit of this shirt. I would like to make some changes. I can send you the sample that I like. So I'll order 5 of my favorite item that I want to kind of replicate, but I have tweaks I want to make. So I'll send you the shirt. I want you to copy the fabric or get something a little smoother than what I'm going to send you. And I want you to make these fit adjustments. Make the sleeves 0.75 inches longer, make the body an inch more tapered, make it an inch shorter on the thing. I want the collar to be this other type of collar, so I have this other t-shirt that actually, I love the collar on that one. I don't like the collar on this one, but I like the fabric. So you kind of curate what you want. You find out, how can I get it? You pay for 5 samples. Whose sample came out the highest quality? Who came back the best? And who's easiest to communicate? You trim it down, you cut the slowest 3. Now you're talking to 2 people. Then you get pricing. Then you pick your person you're gonna work with. Then you place your order. And then Alfleet's formed. It's doable. Everything is doable. I guess that's just what I'm trying to really get across to you guys. Find a problem, find a solution, find out what the steps are. Don't get stuck in thinking in consuming all this content and all these business guys that are just overwhelming you with just big ass steps and processes that you're I need step 1. What is your step 1? Just focus on that. Don't focus about don't get overwhelmed and just think about what you need to do today and how you can get a hold of someone that can help you get your idea to come to life. That's really all I gotta say. That was a wild rant, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not subscribed, I need you to be sure you're subscribed. This is a brand new channel. I've been making videos for 13 years now, but this channel is just a year, not even a year and a half old. We're rebuilding and this community has been absolutely insane. I think that this channel is, it just feels like a weight off my shoulders. I'm not so worried about the clickbait, the thumbnails, all that I've sort of really invested in the first decade of my career. And it just feels like it's easier to get this content out by just doing what comes naturally. If you like that, then be sure to subscribe because we are gonna be posting 2 videos a week, every Monday and Thursday, 10 a.m. Central. Expect it. We're staying consistent. We'll see you in the next video. Oh, my legs.